Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we're going to be talking about the irony of reskins in Combat Arms. Now, if you've been playing Combat Arms recently, you would go and see that in the shop we have got a lot of reskins, like a lot of reskins recently added actually. For example, the Carnival G36C and the Valentine's Tango 51 and weapons along those lines. Like Nexon has really been putting out reskins to weapons, and the majority of players, to be brutally honest, don't give a shit about these reskins. And the big question is, why? Why don't we care about these relatively cool skins? It's because we have been conditioned. Now, let's go back to 2012-2013, when Nexon started releasing these really overpowered NX standard weapons. The M416 CQB before the nerfs. We've got like the sniper rifle hierarchy of like, okay, let's release the L115A3, then let's release the TRG, then let's release the TPG, and so on and so on and so on. I know the order's off, but you guys get what I mean. Where in that time, getting an advantage over other players was through simply paying money by getting weapons that were statistically better than everything else in the GP shop, or the majority of things in the GP shop. Like the G36C was still a pretty good weapon. The UMP, still a pretty good weapon, but there was a ton of NX standard weapons that would go and dominate 99% of the GP arsenal. Now, at that time, people were just going and buying it. People just go and buying these weapons because Combat Arms was really, really popular. Everybody wanted an advantage in these public games. Everybody wanted to go and stomp. And the way to go and buy NX, go and buy the overpowered weapons, go and get the NX rare weapons, whatever. And Nexon was making money, people were going stomping, and everybody was relatively happy, except the people that didn't have the weapons, and even then, majority caved in, bought some NX, and the rest is history. And this basically became the norm, and it's a little bit depressing because if you went to any other gaming community and said, okay, the way people get better in Combat Arms is by buying weapons that have a statistical advantage over the stuff you can go and get with in-game money. Everybody will go and say it's pay to win, and everybody will go and say the game is broken. But we were very oblivious to the fact, and now that's become part of the name. When you think Combat Arms, you think pay to win. And that's a little bit depressing because Nexon has done quite a lot to make Combat Arms not a pay to win game. For example, where GP players can go and rent NX standard weapons in the shop, that's absolutely fantastic. But then they've kind of relapsed and gone and make it extremely easy to go and buy NX rare weapons for permanent, and Nexon kind of backflips as well. So it's a little bit, you know, up and down in their approach. But really, Combat Arms is less of a pay-to-win game than it's ever been. But it's blatantly obvious. Players of Combat Arms are not going to go and buy reskins because we have been conditioned to go and buy better weapons. Reskins are not better weapons. They are identical, and the only thing that's changed is the artwork of the weapon. And the majority of players that have been conditioned this way are not going to go and buy this simply because Nexon went and told them to. And that right there is the irony of Combat Arms, and that's what I wanted to go and emphasize in this commentary. The fact that Nexon is trying to go and fix the mistakes right now, but it's impossible because of the permanent disfigurement they have on the play base of Combat Arms, the permanent disfigurement that they placed on the Combat Arms community way back then. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this commentary. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.